Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man is just a truly reinvigoration of the Spider-Man license. We are co-creative directing with Brian Michael Bendis, who writes the comic book, most probably the most famous comic book series going on right now. We've changed the art style. It's really important to us that our characters come out alive from the comic books. So we spent the first 3 or 4 months of the project working on the character shaders, and they have these beautiful heavy black outlines, and the musculature is outlined in what we call our 3D comic book inking. So really, the first thing is we wanted to make it look like the comic book. The next thing we wanted to do is we wanted to make it feel like a comic book. So we use motion graphics and these panels that we basically slide across the screen, and we do all types of storytelling in these 3D comic book panels. It's kind of hard to describe with words, but basically in a normal video game you'll have a cutscene and you'll have 2 people talking to each other, you know, and it'll be one camera, fixed camera angle. With us, we have multiple camera angles, multiple cameras. We actually slide the action across the screen. We'll have a small close-up of a guy in a box, and he'll actually dive outside of that box and run across the screen. It really just adds a super dynamic to the look of the game. He penciled all of our character designs. Like any character that we wanted to use, whether or not existed currently in Ultimate Spider-Man or was a new character that we wanted to introduce to the game, we basically went to Bagley and said, here's the character we want. You know, he worked with us. He gave us, you know, 30+ character sketches, stuff that we haven't wound up using in the game, stuff that we'll never wind up using, but just, he's an amazing artist, he's prolific, and the turnaround is unbelievable. So basically, we gave Bagley an idea, he'd send back pencils, we would take that internally and do, you know, and turn it around and make sure that we could model characters off of it. He would get back to us with the color comps, we'd send those off to Marvel, they would approve them, and he basically designed the look of the characters in our game. I mean, it really is a testament to his talents, the characters in our game, and as you guys saw in the very brief demo, they look pretty killer. Yeah. We're working on it. We have a lot of solutions in place. I mean, there's the problem of 2 player characters, so they're each going to have slightly unique camera needs. You know, Spider-Man swings, so you need a special camera for that, and while Venom kind of does these bounding leaps, so he'll need his own unique camera. Basically, we do like any other process. We sit down together as a collective creative team. We put down the list of all the known issues with the camera, and then we get very talented people to sit and rework the camera code until it works, and then you scrap 80% of that and you do it over. I mean, something like camera, probably the only thing even close to camera as far as the amount of iteration that goes into it would be something like a combat system. And it really, there is no magic bullet for the camera. I mean, this is the 4th Spider-Man game we've made at Treyarch, and we continue to work on and improve the camera, and it really is an iterative feel, and it's based on the type of content you're trying to deliver, and it's a lot of work. You have my promise that the camera you saw today is not the camera we're going to ship with, but I certainly understand the fundamental and the importance of a camera, and it's something that we're putting a lot of effort into. You know, basically because it's fun to be Spider-Man, and it's fun to be Venom. You know, after years of making Spider-Man games, I still sit down sometimes just in my zen-like state to relax, and I swing through the city of Spider-Man. You know, we've updated the combat system. We have new attacks and kind of just a new take on Spider-Man's combat. It's frenetic. He's jumping off walls. He's, you know, it's really combo-based in the way he's kind of bouncing from guy to guy. So, you know, we got all these cool gangs that are kind of unique to our world that are going to have their own parts of the city, and we really just want to make it so that when you want to take a break from the pounding, pulsing storyline, that you're going to be able to do cool, fun things. You know, we're going to have trick races and things throughout the city, and there's going to be stuff to find that's hidden throughout the city, and we want to give the player a reason to do more than just play the straight storyline, because we've built this huge, expansive world. We have a streaming engine, and we need to take advantage of that and give players, you know, bang for the buck outside of the story missions. I can't get too in-depth into missions that you guys haven't seen simply because of our release schedule, but what you saw was the kind of the tutorial to how those threat assessments work. You know, basically you had very one-off, simple things where you had a long time. You're going to see stuff where like there's multiple civilians in danger at the same time, and one civilian will maybe be in more danger, so the decay rate on their, you know, the meter that we have, what's called the threat assessment meter, will be going faster. So really the idea is the player stumbles across a scene, you know, a camera flash, we'll use some panels to show them all the danger, pan back to Spider-Man, and suddenly you're going to have to not only save these people, you're going to have to assess the situation. You're going to have 3 people trapped under a billboard, and, you know, explosions are going to be going off, and you need to figure out which person is in the most danger, because if you go in the wrong order, you may not save all the civilians. It's unacceptable for Spider-Man to ever let anybody die. So, you know, that's an automatic game over. So you'll have to come upon the scene, kind of do a quick analysis of who's in the most danger, and then work your way to figure out how you want to take the order of the saving. And Ultimate Spider-Man is coming out this fall. It'll be on the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, the Xbox, the PC, the GBA, and the Nintendo DS. And certainly hope everybody goes and picks it up because it's a truly amazing game experience.